would like to give us a hand.
Okay, and if somebody wanted to volunteer to help with the baskets or help with the Lions telethon, I don't know if there's areas of need at the telethon that you might require people. Who can they contact?
Okay, well, our chairperson for the telethon is Lorette Sparling.
Okay.
And her phone number is 627-9376.
Okay.
And she has all these jobs, and it's funny, about a month ago when the telethon came on our at our meeting, and she says, I'll take over the telethon, and I said, okay, there it is, and Lorette is very well organized. So she had a list of her jobs, and she says, okay, does anybody want anything? So she left that evening, and practically 75% of the jobs are all, I'll take this, and she was just amazed,
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so I think we always need help, and and there are a lot of people working there behind the scenes, even though you see people on the camera. Just for example, Channel 13, like, they just don't arrive the night of the telethon. No. I'm sure they have to move all their equipment the week before, and like, hats off to
and it's setting
up Channel 13, because without Channel 13, we wouldn't be live on TV. So that's because of Channel 13, because of you guys, that we are there. And we really appreciate that, because we wouldn't have a telethon. So just the fact of moving all the equipment from the studio and setting it up in the Tory Hall, like, that is quite a feat in itself.
It is.
And then after the telethon is over, you've got to move everything back,
and,
and reorganize your studio. So people may not realize that. And also the night of the telethon itself, people are working all the time, like, the cameramen and
the phones.
A lot of people are involved. It touches a lot of people, but we've got lots of volunteers who come out and help us.
Which is really, really good. Because,
it is.
Like you mentioned, the setup, the takedown, I mean, it's the hours that are put in beforehand, and it's the hours that are put in afterhand. Like, people only really see the live version of the 6 or 7 hours that you're on, but it's the before and after that makes the difference.
And while the telethon is on, a lot of people are running behind us behind the stage, at the phones at the door.
Gophers,
gophers, and some people are pledging, phoning in, pledging, and sometimes a Lion member with a police officer or so on will go and pick up their pledge at the door, and they're able to do that the night of the telethon.
Yep. That's something I wanted to ask you too. If somebody wanted to donate and they can't make it down to Ross or to wherever they're supposed to bring the donations, which is one, would be a good thing to point out to the people. And two is, how can they get their donation to you? Is their donations being picked up door to door?
Yes, that's Friday night, because when they phone in, they will ask you, okay, will you drop off your donation, or would you like somebody to go and pick it up? And a lot of people, yes, they could come and pick it up. And we have runners, we call them runners, and a lot of them are working that night, and I think they go on till 10 or 11 o'clock.
Something
and,
which is good.
So, yes. Yep.
Because not everybody can get out, and I think really the best way to make sure you're going to collect at least 95% of that is to try and go out and get it yourself, because people forget. And I wanted to ask you that. I mean, you mentioned that you collected 17,000, which is amazing, because most times you don't get to collect the amount that's raised, that's actually finished your telethon.
But we must say, Lisa, that we pick up most of our pledges.
I'm happy to hear that.
There's maybe just a few people who do phone in and forget to drop their pledges. But then what compensates for that, other people will just donate without even phoning in. So it sort of balances out, and we do get a...
Which is really, really good. Because,
it is.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I mean, if you're going to phone it in and you can't make it down, somebody could pick it up. But they rely on it. Where, like, I'm sure you guys, you hope that people will drop it off because of the importance of where it's
And now that we've moved, and Luc mentioned at the beginning, so people will... I've always been so generous, and I've always supported us. And we're expecting, again, the same thing. But we're there to have fun and to help
that's the main thing.
Yes.
Let everybody have a good time. You mentioned earlier there was an auction. What's going on with the auction, and how many... Do you know how many prizes or how many things there are?
At this point, we don't know, because we just begin the process. But what we do is typically we take whatever the people are ready to give us in terms of craft and new things, and we have a phone number 627-4532, and our people can drop it at Pro Hardware or Pro Hardware, Ross Electric, and well, that's
4532. That's your work number.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess you phoned him.
No, well, the 4 told me something. Well, that's good though. And right now you don't know how many items that there is.
No, we're just starting the
You're
process.
working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the auction. I fight for items on the auction, and I remember one year I think it was last year. There was 3 items I wanted, and
there's always a competition. So this is why we're reading all the time, and people are sitting at home and listening to us, because then, you know, about 5-10 minutes later, you're, oh, that item, oh, somebody bid on it. And
I love to hear, like,
yes.
you guys keeping it up to date, because then it gives you an idea. But I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
When they close the auction table, this has always become a subject at work, we'll say.
Okay.
They close the auction table.
Okay, let's say 11 o'clock. We'll
11
give an example.
o'clock.
We'll say an example.
11
okay?
o'clock. Let's say they close it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
ahead.
What is your question?
Do the people, anybody who's here in the stage, at the stage, okay, center at the Torrey Hall, do they have more chance of betting in on an auction item compared
no,
to somebody phoning
no,
in?
No,
Okay.
you have to phone in to bet.
I like
You're
it.
not taking the bet from the...
Person there,
No.
which is good,
yeah.
because it makes it more fair to the
Yeah,
people.
exactly. And we're going to have a fixed time where we have to close it. At a fixed time, we'll say, well, this is at that time. This is the closure of the bidding
Of the
process.
bidding, okay.
And it's going to be prefixed, and we don't take anything past that time.
I'm happy to hear it, because that becomes the talk at the break or wherever, and they say, well, it's not fair. The people at the hall have a, because it happened one year, I believe, where the people in the hall had more of a chance.
Well,
than
we revisit all our elements of the telethon. That's one thing. We took a close look this year, and we want to make sure that we'll have a firm process and a fair process.
Fair process.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So that's how we're going to proceed. There's going to be a track of how the donation, the bidding is proceeding.
Okay.
And also there's going to be a fixed time where the bidding is going to be stopped.
Okay.
And the bidding is going to be only by phone outside the center and not from the people directly in the hall.
Okay, I think that's wonderful. And then this way...
And it's going to be fair for
it's
everybody.
Open. That's right, it is open. There's probably many house parties going on every year. There seems to be... I know the Roger Collette family always has a house party, and
there's always a challenge. People will phone in and will donate, and then we give a challenge, or what is the word? I'm looking
challenge
for
other.
They challenge other businessmen. Sometimes a businessman will phone in. Yes.
The Fireman's Ball is that
yes.
night?
And no, I think it's the following night. Usually it's the Saturday after
the
telethon.
Saturday. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Okay, you're right.
Yep. But
So-
there's always people at the bars, and like we say, Gaston Gingras, the tournament will be on too. So there will be a lot of activities, and it's fun.
It's going to be
It's
great.
fun. Yes.
If you were to compare the telethons from beginning to when they first started to how they are now, what can you say has changed with the telethons? I see a lot of dramatic changes, but in your views, what do you see has changed?
Well, I think the one thing to say is that it's been improving every year.
I think so.
Okay,
Yes.
it's been improving. Just the fact of moving from the early years, we were at the town hall,
Right.
crowded, and then we came here in the studio, and then we're now at the Torrey Hall, and the performers, the entertainers, we've got great
Technology.
talent. The technology, the computer, everything is just, I think we're just getting better.
Better.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
And from the earlier years when it started, did they start off by giving Christmas baskets out, or was there other purposes in it compared to what they are now?
No, it's sensibly the same objective
Same
have been
thing, eh?
maintained year to year.
Okay.
But as it improved, we were in terms of as the time progressed and people have been more generous, then we were able to have more people.
Right, right.
See, this is our 14th telethon this year, Lisa, and the Lions Club has been existing for 25 years. We've celebrated this fall. This will be our 25th year, okay, 25th anniversary, and we'll be celebrating our charter next spring.
Wow.
Because there were too many things going on this fall with the telethon and so on.
Right.
So a 25th charter night party event, yes, will take place in the spring.
Which is really, really good. How many members are there for the Lions?
Well, right now we're very small, not more than 20. Yes. 20. And at the Arts, the Christmas Craft Show on November 15th, 16th, we will be there, the Lions Club, we will be there. So if people want to come and see us at our table, we will be selling calendars, and the money of these calendars will not go to us. This will go to CNIBC, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. Okay. Then we'll be selling our famous Christmas cakes. Oh, good. People have been asking for that, so this year we've ordered some. Okay. We'll be selling some chocolates. We'll be selling some truffles, something new that we're trying this year. Right. And anybody who would like information and who would like to become a member of the Lions Club, they could come and see us, because we will be there during those 2 days of the craft show at the Torrey Hall on November 15th and 16th.
Yeah, and maybe one good opportunity, if people want to bring objects for to be auctioned, they could bring it at that occasion too.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Makes it more practical for everybody.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Luke, how long have you been a member with the Lions here in
Only 4 years.
Only 4 years. Yeah. And what is your role as a Lion?
Well, I'm just part of the team. I play a small role. And
you play a big role with the Lions? No.
Well, everybody chips in, and that makes the job easier for everybody. So.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 4 years, and Josette, this is your...
Well, I've been officially a Lions member since June 2001, last year. Okay. But I've always been working in the background and always volunteering. So finally, one day they asked me, when are you going to become a Lions member? I said, when I retire. Well, they said, you're already doing the job of a Lions member. And I went home and I thought of it, and I said, that is so true, because I like to help out, you know, the Lions Fair or the telethon or whatever, just helping out. And the time capsule, for example, last year. And I said, yeah, I think I'm very proud to say that I'm a Lions member now.
Well, that's really, really good.
And it's a great team. It is. It is.
They do some wonderful wonderful events, causes. All the money raised seems to be always coming back to the community, going to the needy, helping out families. I think
if you check our logo, the lion's head, and underneath it says, we serve. And
you do. You serve the community, yes, and that's beyond mention, because I mean you hear it over and over again from everything. Well, you know, I think it's going to be a wonderful evening of talent lined up, and they're not going to tell us who they are, so you have to stay tuned.
You'll have to stay tuned to Channel 13th, and better yet, if it's nice, you come out and see us, come for a walk, and you come at the Torrey Hall and be there as a spectator, Lisa.
As a spectator. Well, we're going to be there. So what we're going to do is we're going to recap as to what's happening, what time, where it's at again, to make sure everybody knows, and keep everybody informed as to what's going on. Luke, do you want to recap it?
Sure. Okay. It's Friday, November 29th, from 6 to 12 at the Torrey Hall at the center, and of course on Channel 13.
Of course.
And it's live. And what else?
627-9271 and 627-9376
for the 6 to 8 spots left.
Okay.
And if you have nice object you want to be auctioned, the phone number is 627-4532, and you can bring it to Pro Hardware, Ross Electric.
Okay, that's great. Actually, there's a few things I forgot. We're recapping, and we're going to recap again because there's something we forgot.
What did we forget?
Filios comes on every year.
Oh, yes, and at 10 o'clock, this is Filios' spot, and I'm sure we wouldn't have a telethon if we didn't have Filios, because he's been there since the beginning.
That's right.
For his 2 famous songs, and if you don't know what they are, 10 o'clock, November 29th, you open your TV, or you keep it open from 6 o'clock, but at 10 o'clock, you're going to hear Filios.
And it's important because
it is to him.
Tradition.
Yes. It is. It's a very strong tradition that he follows through on. And Filios, we're looking forward to hearing you sing. It Ain't Gonna Rain No More, No More, and your other famous song. The other thing is you have a craft show that you talked about on the 15th and 16th in your table.
Yes.
And you're selling your chocolates and your truffles and your calendars.
Yes.
And if somebody wanted to become a member, can they register at this craft show?
Well, they can take some information, we discuss with them, and then sometimes when people are interested, we invite them to our supper, or we invite them to participate to one of our activities, so they get familiarized with what we do and see if they like it or they don't like it. Sometimes they don't like it, but if they like it, then it's a process.
Okay.
And then you have a sponsor, and then a member will sponsor you to become a Lions member.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. So it's a good procedure. Again, we'll recap it quite quickly here. November 29, 6 p.m. till 12, being held at the center. Talent, there's still room for talent, but don't wait too long because there's space is very limited. The auction table, some good items will be coming out, and all the proceeds that the Lions bring in, the telethon, they return it into the baskets. They help out our needy. Our wonderful hosts, Josette and Regis, will be there with a surprise.
Well, our usual guests.
Our usual guests,
It's going to be a little different this year.
It's different. And don't forget to make it a date. Book this into your agenda, and it's a good family event. So I want to thank you, Luc and Josette, for coming on the show. We wish you luck, and I don't have to wish it because it's going to come very, very well, and people are very generous.
Yes, people have always been generous in Temiskaming and the surrounding area, and we're there to have fun, and we're there to help the people.
And it never fails.
No, and they're always going to support us because they've always been there. And we really appreciate that, and we want to say thank you.
A thank you, a big thank you, because, I mean, it just seems after one event to another, we're asking over and over again, open up your wallets, but small demands for what comes out of it. So thank you very much for coming on, and
thank you for having us,
make it a date on the 29th.
Thank you.